Karnataka's jailhouse rock, and there is no other way to describe these visuals. What we are about to show you is a huge security lapse at Bengaluru Central Jail, for which heads must roll. Many videos are going viral showing several high-profile inmates, including serial rapist Umesh Reddy, alleged ISIS operative Juhaad Ahmed Shakil Mana, and all these convicts, all these inmates, as you can see on your screens, are enjoying a luxurious lifestyle right inside the jail. After uproar over the videos, the Karnataka Home Minister G. Parameswara suspended 2 officials and transferred the Chief Superintendent of the jail. Further, the Home Minister stated that a high-power committee has been formed to look into the activities of all inmates. NIA has also taken cognizance of the videos, as one of the men shown in the videos is an ISIS recruiter. According to the Karnataka Chief Minister, the DG of the jail was on holiday and also said that such an incident would not occur again. But this, what you see on your screens, this luxurious lifestyle of the inmates is not happening for the first time. Earlier also, gold smuggling accused Tarun was seen enjoying in the jail. Meanwhile, BJP has now slammed Karnataka government over this, and BJP leader said that this is a big threat to national security. BJP also staged a protest near the CM house this morning, demonstrating against the shocking videos.
I have taken note of some of these things. Some of them are old, supposed to have been recorded earlier, and some of them 1 or 2 cases, recent ones. So what we have decided is to constitute an high-power committee to look into these issues, these incidents, and also the suggestions to see that these prisons are well maintained and well kept, and none of these incidents will happen in future.
See, this apparently the video that has been posted was 2.5 years old. The Home Minister was Mr. Ashok only, no? Ask him what happened. He was also the Home Minister. The video that is being circulated, we are accountable, sir. If the video was yesterday's, we could have commented. The video is 2.5 years old is what they're saying. Today the Home Minister is having a meeting. Let us see what it is. We'll find out the authenticity of the video, when the timelines were, when it happened. So, Mr. Ashok only was the Home Minister at that time.
से कर्नाटक में आया है, तभी से एंटी नेशनल एलिमेंट्स को, टेररिस्ट को पूरा सपोर्ट दे रहा है सिद्धरामैया सरकार। जो आप वीडियो देखा है बेंगलुरु का परप्पाग्रहार जेल में, जिस तरीके से टेररिस्ट, आईएसआई एजेंट्स सभी को व्यवस्था मिल रहा है, सभी को टीवी मिला है, मोबाइल मिला है, दारू सब मिला है, इसका पूरा सपोर्ट कांग्रेस सरकार से मिल रहा है। ये जो सपोर्ट कर रहा है, पूरा देश विरोधी का काम जो कांग्रेस सरकार कर रहा है, इसके खिलाफ भारतीय जनता पार्टी हम लोग डिमांड कर रहे हैं, माननीय मुख्यमंत्री सिद्धरामैया और होम मिनिस्टर को, परमेश्वर को इस्तीफा देना चाहिए।
एनआईए ने क्रैकडाउन किया इस आतंकी पर, इसको गिरफ्तार किया, इसके ऊपर यूएपीए लगा है, इंडियन पीनल कोड की गंभीर धाराएं लगी है, वेजिंग वॉर अगेंस्ट द नेशन ये धारा भी लगी है, और ऐसे आतंकी को हाई सिक्योरिटी जोन में रखने की आवश्यकता थी। परंतु आप देख सकते हैं कि कांग्रेस पार्टी ने इस आतंकी को मोबाइल फोन का एक्सेस दिया है, टेलीविजन का एक्सेस दिया है, और खुले तरीके से वो जेल में बैठकर वहां से फोन लगा रहा है और लोगों से संपर्क कर रहा है। इसका मतलब यह है कि जो कांग्रेस पार्टी है वो एक तरह से इस आईसिस रिक्रूटर को खुली छूट दे रही है कि वो जेल की सिक्योरिटी से लोगों को रिक्रूट कर सके। तो सोचिए, हम आतंकियों को धर दबोचते हैं, आज देख रहे हैं आप, और जब धर दबोचने के बाद उनको जेल भेजा जाता है तो कांग्रेस पार्टी उनके लिए यहां पर व्यवस्था करती है कि वो अपने आतंकी मंसूबों को और भी प्रखर रूप से अंजाम दे और भी लोगों की रिक्रूटिंग कर सके।
ಈಗ ನೀವು ಪರಪ್ ನಗರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಟೆರರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ವಿಧಾನಸೌಧದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಟೆರರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಲ್ಲ. ವಿಧಾನಸೌಧದಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆರರಿಸ್ಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪರಪ್ ನಗರದ ಟೆರರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ಅದರಿಂದ ಇವತ್ತು ಗೃಹ ಸಚಿವರು ಏನೋ ತನಿಖೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳವ್ರೆ, ಸತ್ಯಾಸತ್ಯತೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊತೀನಿ ಅಂದವ್ರೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವ ಪರಮೇಶ್ವರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲೇನು ನಡೀತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ? ಅದರಿಂದ ಇವತ್ತು ಮಾಧ್ಯಮಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೀತಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಹಲವಾರು ರೀತಿಯ ಒಂದು ಮನರಂಜನೆಗಳಿರ್ಬೋದು.
All right, for more on this, we're now being joined by former IPS officer Kiran Bedi. Thank you so much for being here with us on NDTV, ma'am. First up, of course, with your wealth of experience, first, what do you make of this prison party that is happening inside the Karnataka Central Jail with dance, liquor, drama and a slew of lapses at the Bengaluru jail?
I've been saying that even a bird cannot enter the prison without the approval of the superintendent of the jail. Even a bird cannot. Therefore, whatever happens inside the VIP treatment or otherwise, it has to be not without it has to be in knowledge of the prison. Now, whether to what extent is the connivance or overlooking, oversight, ignoring it, he is the explanation. And I would say that if such a matter comes so live on a CCTV, on the videos, etc., then it's an open and a shut case. Open and a shut case. The first thing the jail administration outside the prison could be the DIG, could be the DGP, could be the Home Secretary, could be the Chief Secretary, could be the Home Minister, could be the Chief Minister,
right.
All of them, even the district magistrate, even the district judge, all of them can bring out the jail superintendent outside the prison and say, sit outside till you explain why has this happened, which means that you have to remove him from the prison to ensure fair and ensure change. The change cannot happen while he's inside the prison and inquiry has been ordered, etc., etc. No, no inquiry, impartial inquiry is possible with his presence still. So the first thing, all seniors outside the prison, and I mentioned all the list, all of them have to remove him from the scene, give him a chance to be heard, and if he can justify anything which is wrong, which is not available. Suppose he's on leave, he's not present in the prison for a couple of weeks or those days when this has happened. Yet the kind of processes he's put in place is his responsibility. What kind of search systems he's done and how much he watches and how he punishes when he detects something is setting the process in place. So I think superintendent of that particular prison, whenever this happens, is primarily accountable and should be removed forthwith, particularly when such a thing becomes visible evidence and is evidence which is on the net as in real time.
Right, ma'am. You've, of course, clearly outlined that all what was happening in the Karnataka jail was under the nose of the superintendent, and you've given us the structural failures and the oversight gaps there. But I want to seek your first reaction to when you saw this happening in a jail with the inmates, the rapists there getting VVIP treatment and culture.
Well, whenever incidents like this happen inside a jail, it means there is prevalence of huge corruption. Because all these things cannot happen without corruption. And the corruption is responsible for ensuring there is no corruption is the superintendent of the jail. All others are supervisors. But the direct person who's on the ground to supervise is the superintendent of the jail. Why? Because the superintendent office is also inside the jail. The office of DIG, the DGPs are outside the jail. But superintendent's office is inside the jail. Now, what is happening inside the jail has to be in his knowledge. and corruption cannot be without his knowledge. And secondly, he has access to the control room, the CCTVs, etc. So therefore, he is primarily responsible to ensure that corruption does not happen inside the prison. Now, whatever has been found inside the prison has to be in connivance with some junior somewhere. And the superintendent has to be aware of what's happening because he's inside the prison.
Right.
He's supposed to be walking the prison, supervising the prison, training the prison, ensuring security of the prison. So it is nothing but corruption prevalent in that prison.
Right, absolutely, ma'am. But how should the chain of responsibility be established? You've, of course, given us the brief of how the superintendent of police is majorly responsible. But at this point of time, what do you think should be done to put an end to such practices happening?
The one message is, you are caught with, it's like hand in the till. You're caught at it. You caught on camera. You cannot say you were not present there. No. You are a supervisor. You are a superintendent. So whoever is caught is immediately brought out of the prison. They've got to be moved out of the system. And then he or she must be moved out of the prison and given a right to be heard and explained. So you cannot continue to have them and say, ordered inquiry has been ordered, action will be taken. No, don't postpone it.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's because of these postponements that such a thing continues, because then crime is paying. Crime must hurt. If you've been caught in corruption, you have to be held accountable, not in a future date, but now. And if you're innocent, you go back. But if you're not innocent, you don't go back. You do something else, or depending on the gravity of the situation, the inquiry comes. But you don't enter. I recall, I used to have some of these corrupt people. I could not suspend them. I couldn't transfer them. I did not have IG as a power, as IG that time in Tihar, to remove or transfer, because it was handled by the Delhi administration. What did I do? Did I carry on with them? No. I told those men, no, you sit outside the prison. You don't enter. You're barred from entry. As a superintendent, I can bar anybody from coming in. Just as I can facilitate anybody to come in, I can also bar. So I barred that person. Said, sorry, you sit outside. You are getting your salary. You mark your presence from outside, but you will not enter the prison. And what happened? After 1 month, the man came crying. My family is asking me every day, why are you, Daddy? Why are you not working? Why are you outside the prison? You're not going inside the prison, because the family came to know that your salary is coming. See, I could not suspend him or transfer him. The point is, those who have the power to suspend or transfer or move them out, exercise your power. So superintendent can also do that. He can't say, I have so many corrupt people. How can I do? What can I do? Oh, move them out. Make them stand outside the prison. Don't allow them to enter the prison. Once you bar them from entering the prison, where is the pollution? Where's the corruption? Because you barred them out. You kept them outside, hanging. Go for a walk. Go for long walks. Or do something else. But I'm not going to let you pollute my system.
Right, ma'am. Of course, you've shared that anecdote here with us. I also want to, you've draw the next question from your own quote. You've said that it is always possible. That's one of your quotations. My last question to you, what message would you like to give to the state government of Karnataka after this scandalous video has emerged?
Well, you are under a test. State government, you are under a test. You can't just get away by saying ordered an inquiry. Sorry. You have a duty now, and you have a right to remove him and say stay outside the prison till the inquiry is complete. You can do that. Nothing stops you. That's a larger message to the entire administration, to the governance. It will be a message to the governance. If you're caught red-handed and there's a visible evidence, you can defend. Now the ball is in your court. So I would say this is not a message only for prison administration. It's a message for anybody in government. You are caught red-handed. You're caught being derelict in your duty, in your failure of supervision. It's the duty of the Karnataka administration, in this case, to remove him and send a larger message. You are caught, you are in trouble. You're not caught, inquiry handles, we can't help it. But you're caught, you're out. That means crime will not pay you. Corruption will not pay in good governance. So if you want good governance, remove officers from duty, If they're caught in the red-handed. The evidence, the camera cannot lie. So therefore, you defend yourself outside, but till then you're out of the job.
Right, absolutely, ma'am. I think that's the way forward after corruption prevailing in the central jails in the state of Karnataka. But thank you so much for joining us here on NDTV and sharing your insights and your anecdotes here with us. All right, we're still on with the story. The party taking place inside the central jail in Karnataka. And for more on this, my colleague Ritu has sent us this ground report from outside the Bengaluru Central Jail. Take a look.
Just 200 meters from here, Bengaluru Central Jail is located. Well, you've heard me right, the same central jail from where the series of videos, including terror operatives seen using mobile phone, is going viral. Basically, the larger question being raised here that are the really rules different for the jail inmates, since there is a jammer that is installed on the jail premises, and there are residents who have been for a couple of years protesting and demanding the officials, saying that they are unable to utilize any of the essential services due to these jammers being installed. We are joined by few residents near this central jail basically.
जो अंदर है वो अच्छा आदमी है, जो बाहर पब्लिक है वो पूरा कैदी है। इधर जो जामर के लिए है बहुत परेशानी हो गया, इधर बहुत मुश्किल है। अभी क्या तो इमरजेंसी एम्बुलेंस को फोन करना है, समझो कॉल नहीं जाएगा इधर। अभी नाइट में हमारे घर पे एक पेशेंट है, हमारी मम्मी, उसको इमरजेंसी कॉल करना है, एम्बुलेंस मांगना है तो एम्बुलेंस वाला नहीं आएगा।
दर्शन का विश्व आने के बाद और ज़्यादा कर दिया जामर पावर। सेंट्रल जेल से 3 किलोमीटर सराउंडिंग में ये जामर आ रहा है। अभी ये बड़ी मैं जाके 3-4 बार सुपरिटेंडेंट का डीआईजी का मैं कंप्लेंट दिया, कंप्लेंट का नहीं सुन रहा है। ये अंदर वाला का वीआईपी ट्रीटमेंट, ये परपनगर सेंट्रल जेल नहीं है, परपनगर रिजॉर्ट है ये।
The simple question over here is that whether these jammers are only effective for the residents around this area and not to these jail inmates. Larger question being raised here now, what that these authorities will really do, and the state government, how will they really resolve this whole matter and ensure that such lapses really do not take place in the future? That remains to be seen. With video journalist Kumar, Ritu Raj Purohit for NDTV in Bengaluru.
All right, and that's the big story we're tracking here on NDTV. The prison party there in the central jail in Karnataka. As you can see, the visuals are on your screens there. Some are rapists and convicts. Some is also an ISIS recruiter who are partying, who have a luxurious lifestyle there in the jail. Of course, raising pertinent questions on what happens to them. Who takes the responsibility? Where was the superintendent when all this was happening right under his nose? And of course, for more on this, we have breaking news coming in. Union Minister Shobha Karandlaje has now written to Amit Shah over the lapses in the Bengaluru prison. And for more on this, my colleague Deepak is now joining me live. Deepak, what's the latest that you can tell us? What we are learning at this point of time is that the Union Minister Shobha has written to Amit Shah over the lapses in the Bengaluru prison, and earlier the Karnataka government also dismissed 2 Bengaluru jail officers. But what's the latest at this point of time?
Well, this is a massive development considering the fact that just hours earlier we here at NDTV had broken that information that a letter was written to Union Home Minister Amit Shah by a activist and an advocate Girish Bharadwaj. That was really to probe what has happened at the Parapnagara prison. Now this is a letter that has been written by Union Minister Shobha Karandlaje. She has written to the Union Home Minister Amit Shah saying that there should be a national policy to look at all the wrongdoings, or to rather govern the prisons itself, especially in the states. And she's particularly pointing at the instance where you have Zuaib Manna, one of the ISIS operatives who's right now housed in the Parapnagara prison. He was seen using a mobile phone. She's saying that this is a grave security lapse because this is an individual who's accused of radicalizing youth, sending them to Syria, raising funds as well. So at a situation like this, when you have mobile phones given to them, it's a massive security lapse is what she says, and she's asking the Union Home Minister to consider bringing in a national policy to govern prisons in the state.
But a short while ago, I was in conversation. We were talking to Kiran Bedi, who clearly said that corruption cannot be handled by one person. It's sort of a cohesion, a cooperation that is taking place inside the central jail there in Bengaluru. And that's exactly what the Union Minister Shobha has also written to the Home Minister Amit Shah over prison lapses. And she has further outlined that there is deep-rooted corruption in jail system. Tell us more about the course of action that will be taken moving forward.
Well, as of now, a high-power committee has been formed. They're expected to submit a report in about a month's time. And the Home Minister today, while speaking in Bengaluru, has gone on to say that in about a month, we will know exactly what has happened pertaining to these videos, which he claims many of them are from the recent past and some of them from a couple of years ago. Now, as far as action itself, we've already seen one officer, that's the Chief Superintendent, who has been transferred, two other officers who've been suspended. Whether there'll be more skeletons that will come out of the closet as the investigation continues, and then will the government be forced to act further? That is something that we'll have to watch out for. But yes, as far as activities inside the prison, and when you talk about mobile phones, drugs, alcohol being smuggled into the prison, it cannot happen without officials there being in cahoots with the prisoners. And that's the nexus that needs to be broken. You cannot have, police officers who are jailers who are inside, behaving like criminals themselves and allowing criminal activities inside the prison. This is something that needs to be nipped in the bud, and definitely now with certain reforms that have been announced, we'll have to wait and see whether that will actually happen on the ground or whether this is just going to remain on paper.